Chapter 53 of Baki Rahen has officially released, and Jack Hanma's next opponent may have just been revealed. But before I start today's video, if you would like to interact with me, my community, show off your art, drop some memes, talk in general, or maybe even self-promote, then you can join the Discord that can be found in the description box below. But anyway, in the last chapter of Baki Rahen, Baki Hanma made his official return to the series in the form of defeating a stalker that had trailed him around the streets of Tokyo. Chapter 53 of Baki Rahen, titled Restless Warriors, with the cover of today's chapter being Baki Hanma, with a confused look on his face as the text on the cover states, being the strongest means being the fastest as well, which is a direct quote from the author of Baki, Keisuke Itagaki. And we are brought to a meeting between Hanada and Mr. Tokugawa, and Tokugawa had began this meeting by offering Hanada a drink. It is a habushu, which is a kind of cocktail. Go on, have a sip. And as Hanada was pouring this drink into a shot glass, a rattlesnake's body had poked out of the bottle, leaving both Hanada and me in complete shock at this. Though Tokugawa, on the other hand, after the drink had been poured into the shot glass, had began chuckling at Hanada's reaction. Hanada had put his nose up to the glass, smelling the mystery liquid, and he had pulled his nose away from the glass instantly, as if it were some kind of smelling salt of some sort. It will give you a little pep, and that is all that Hanada needed to hear before he would then down the entire shot glass in one gulp. And Hanada did not like how that tasted at all. I mean, just look at his face. This drink probably made Hanada question everything. That smell is damn fierce. Which only led to Tokugawa dying laughing yet again. And crazy enough, the drink represented by a rattlesnake does not taste good. What a shocker. Hanada then broke the news about Katao stalking Baki. Really now? Katao went after Baki? Upton challenged him. Yeah. For the love of. So he finally decided to give it a shot. Do you want to hear about it? Tokugawa then began smoking out of his mythical pipe. Katao is far from a weakling, but it is Baki that he was up against, and I doubt that Baki even did. I am in favor of really hurting him. Yup, spot on. I mean, to be pedant, he did hurt him a little, I guess. But Tokugawa had then immediately gotten serious. So how about you? Are you going to try him too? As if. I know how strong Baki is. There is a wild beast that is packed inside of that little body, and on top of that, he has a hell of a brain, and plenty of poison, as an image of Baki standing in his fighting stance was then shown. It does not matter how generous I am with myself, I am just not on his level. And it looks like Hanada is thankfully not as delusional and honestly insane as Katao. Tokugawa then said, you know, Motobe had said something quite interesting. Yeah, I knew that from day one as soon as he walked in. I could see that he was a genius. And it ends up, Motobe was actually talking about Hanada. Really? Hanada? Yes, no doubt about it. His sense, his attitude, even down to his pure physical ability, it was all exceptional. With Tokugawa not seeming very convinced at this take by Motobe. And you do mean Hanada, right? I do. That same exact Hanada that you know. Hanada was then shown holding his body with his arms crossed, with what seems to be goosebumps after hearing about Motobe's praise of him. It is such an honor. I am feeling all giddy as Hanada then began smiling and Tokugawa started giggling. And just what exactly will you do with all of that honor that you're feeling? Tokugawa is the best instigator of all time. He knows exactly what he's doing. Kuroko, please do not provoke me. I know plenty of geniuses. Baki Hanma, Mr. Ogre Yujiro Hanma, Master Motobe, Katsumi Orochi, and Jack Hanma, and we are then brought to Dappo Orochi's dojo as Dappo is kneeling in front of his students. And of course right next to him is his disciple Katsumi, karate's own living and breathing legend, my father. Today, you will be able to face that legend head on. It is an incredible opportunity as the students at the dojo were in complete and utter shock and confusion, as this should physically not be possible as Dappo's father is dead. Though of course, as we all know, Baki characters have quite the imagination and anything is possible. And if you are able to win, then you yourself will be able to become a legend as Dappo's father's shrine was then shown. While the students suddenly locked in and became much more serious. This monster of a man entered the dojo named Atsushi Suedo. So Atsushi Suedo has come, an ideal sparring partner. And by the way, Suedo, the karate that this man uses will not be our Shin guy. Just what style of karate will the former director showcase? It seems that we are more likely than not going to see Jack Hanma versus Dappo pretty soon, as Jack has certainly had enough time to heal the wounds that he had sustained during his fight with Karu Hanayama, and this fight will be an extremely large determining factor in Jack Hanma's character development. However, this is not the only fight that was just placed into the conversation. Baki vs Hanada is still an option, which can be fully accredited to Tokugawa's legendary instigation that just spawns fights out of nowhere. And there is also Jack Hanma vs Katsumi, which is also possible, but in my opinion less likely than Dappo. Though as I had just said, it is still extremely possible, as Hanada had actually gone up against and knocked down Hanayama in the beginning of Baki Rahen before he would then of course run away. But I can just not see it happening in the current moment in my personal opinion. In the final fight, Jack Hanma vs Baki Hanma, the fight that will make or break Jack Hanma as a character, as even though we still see Yujiro Hanma as the strongest creature alive, that title has been officially passed on to Baki Hanma. And thanks to Jack not really caring about revenge anymore against Yujiro, I believe Baki should technically be Jack's main focus now. Though I think this fight would be far too soon for it to happen now, and Jack will have to have at least a couple more fights before it would make sense for Itagaki to write this revolutionary rematch. And also, I know it is highly unlikely, but I'm getting a similar feeling to when tournaments were a thing in Baki, as new opponents after new opponents are being introduced practically every chapter at this point, and a tournament would honestly make a lot of sense, as the first time that Baki and Jack Hanma had fought, it was in a tournament for a championship. And also, Baki and Jack rarely ever see each other, and when they do, they're usually spectating another match. And also, at this point, neither of them really trash talk when unprovoked. A tournament would not only be good for this rematch, but also for us to see some of the other good matchups that we have here, such as Katsumi and this new opponent that was just introduced in Dappo's dojo, or even Katsumi versus Dappo himself, which would be absolute cinema. However, if and when the tournament does not happen, I think Jack will fight Dappo, as in the Bakiverse there is a food chain that even the fighters are aware of, which was made even more evident when Hanada was discussing a potential fight with Baki. And when it comes to Dappo, he is one of the strongest non-Hanma fighters. It seems in every single one of his recent fights, Jack has been fighting a new and stronger opponent, which would only lead to one conclusion: Jack climbing this food chain and coming for the world's strongest creature, which would be Baki. I think I'm cooking with this theory, I'm not gonna lie. I just started randomly talking and I'm low-key impressing myself right now. And Baki Rahen will be on break next week, with chapter 54 releasing on October 22nd for European and American viewers, and October 23rd for those in Asia. But that is going to be all for today's chapter. Let me know in the comment section below, did you enjoy? And if you enjoyed today's video and would like to support me, then you can leave a like and subscribe. It is completely free on your end and helps me out way more than you may think. And once again, if you would like to interact with me, my community, show off your art, drop some memes, talk in general, or maybe even self-promote, then you can join the Discord that can be found in the description box below. And once again, don't forget, once I hit 10k, I'm gonna give away a little bit of money to you guys, so make sure that you're subscribed, as anyone can win, even you. And also, I haven't fully decided, I'm probably gonna do Amazon gift card codes. But if you guys want something different, then let me know in the comment section below. But that will be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching it till the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!